So what spices are you adding into your life? I'm Matt Gil, and welcome to another episode of Mornings with Matt. Much like this mural, our life is filled with a bunch of different colors and different shapes, and that just create the beauty and the artwork and the artistry of this piece. Our lives are the same way. Our lives are filled with different flavors and different spices and different colors and different shapes that makes up who we are. So what are you putting into your recipe? What are you putting into your masterpiece? No, I never really thought about it that way. It wasn't until he had shared about what spices are you using to create your life. If you think about it, where we are, our mental thinking, our processes, our mindset is all based on the things that we're putting into our minds, into our subconscious. Based on the TV shows that we watch, the music that we listen to, the books that we read, the company that we keep. All of that adds a certain flavor to who we are. So think for a moment, what are the spices, what are the flavors that you're adding to your life? Are you adding spices or flavors that are creating friction, that are giving you virtual, or are you adding spices or flavors that are giving you that heartburn or giving you indigestion and making you nauseous? Or are you adding healthy spices and healthy flavors in your life that are feeding you, that are nurturing you, that are building you up? Now, some of you guys may know that I'm a big foodie, and so just the idea of adding spices to a meal or to a particular recipe totally made sense. And when I really started thinking about the times in my life when I was living in chaos and I was operating in the hurt and the dysfunction that I was in, it was because of the environment that I was in. You know, I wasn't around healthy people. I wasn't feeding my soul. I wasn't connected with my spirituality. I wasn't connected with my higher source. I wasn't doing things of meditation, of prayer, or getting the proper amount of rest. Heck, I wasn't even eating properly. And to be completely honest, at that time, I wasn't even eating many of the times. So when I look at where I was adding a lot of unhealthiness into my life, therefore creating a lot of unhealthy relationships, a lot of unhealthy decisions, a lot of unhealthy actions, and many times inactions. So think about it for a moment of what type of spices and what type of flavors are you adding in your life? You know, what I love about recipes is recipes give us a guide. Like, you may have a favorite lasagna or a favorite enchilada or a favorite soup, and there may be a base recipe that you can follow, and you can Google it and download it and be able to follow that. But then you get to add your own. You get to add a pinch more garlic, or a little bit more oregano, or a little bit more cheese if you're into the cheese. And life is the same way. We have kind of this framework, this idea of what we get to create and what we can be. But you're responsible for adding in the additional flavors, the additional spices, so that it tastes and come out to be a masterpiece that you love, that you appreciate. So I want you to be really mindful this week. Pay attention to, what are you listening to? When you turn on your radio, or if you have a CD player and you still listen to CDs, what CDs are you listening to? What books are you reading? What news articles are you reading? Look at your timeline on your social medias. Who are you following? What's being fed to you? What spices are you adding to your life? Who are the people that are around you? And if you don't like the flavor, if you don't like the outcome, what do you need to remove? What do you need to add more of? So listen, I would love to hear from you. What are some of the changes that you want to make right now? After you've taken a look at your inventory, what flavor do you need? Do you need something a little bit more spicy, add up a little more excitement to your life? Do you need to slow it down? Do you need to add maybe a little bit more water, a little more broth to bring it down just a little bit so it's not so spicy? You need a little bit more tomato paste inside, add a little more basil. Do you need to sweeten up a little bit? Add a little bit of honey. What changes, what do you need to do in your life? This is one of my favorite conversations. Why? Because it's all about food. But listen, it's just a metaphor of being able to see what are you putting inside of your life and in your ultimate recipe. So let me hear from you. Make sure to leave a remark below, and I can't wait to celebrate you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you know some of the things I'm gonna be changing and adding into my recipe of life down in the comments. So I can't wait to celebrate you. I can't wait to connect with you. So make sure, this is a dialogue. I'm not just here to talk, but I want to hear from you guys as well. So make sure and leave a remark. And remember, this is our safe space. This is a place where I get to come share my journey, you get to share your journey, and together we celebrate each other. So I'm your brother in the journey. And you've heard me say it before, and I truly mean it. Every time I say it, I celebrate you. And we'll see you in the next episode. Much like our pictures that add to the brilliance of our life. That's what I meant to say. You know, I never really thought of that.